Welcome back, coin lovers and history seekers. Today, we're stepping into the fascinating world of the Liberty Quarter Dollar coin, a small piece of metal that carries a giant legacy of American history, mystery, and value. This is not just a coin you hold in your hand. This is a symbol of freedom, craftsmanship, and timeless heritage. The Liberty Quarter represents an era when every coin was designed with meaning, pride, and artistic beauty. From the bold image of liberty to the powerful eagle on the reverse, this coin tells a story of strength, independence, and the spirit of a growing nation. Many people have unknowingly spent these coins, never realizing the hidden stories and potential value they carried. In today's video, we will uncover why the Liberty Quarter Dollar is so special, what makes certain years and mint marks incredibly desirable, and how some rare examples have shocked collectors with their astonishing prices. A simple quarter found in an old drawer or inherited collection could be far more important than you ever imagined. We'll explore the history, the design secrets, and the reasons collectors around the world are obsessed with this legendary coin. Whether you are a beginner, a serious collector, or someone who just loves rare money stories, this journey into the Liberty Quarter will leave you amazed. So stay with us till the end, because what looks like an ordinary quarter could be a life-changing treasure. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next coin we reveal might be the one that changes your fortune forever. The 1973 Liberty Quarter Dollar is one of those coins that quietly hides in plain sight, resting in old drawers, forgotten jars, and inherited collections, yet carrying a story far bigger than its face value. To the untrained eye, it looks ordinary, but to a sharp collector, this coin represents mystery, survival, and the possibility that history made a rare mistake. Coins like this don't announce their value loudly. They whisper to those who know what to listen for. That whisper is what has driven collectors into lifelong searches and turned simple quarters into legends. What makes the 1973 Liberty Quarter so fascinating is not mass production, but the rare exceptions buried among millions. While most 1973 quarters were struck in standard metal, a tiny number are known for unusual characteristics, unexpected finishes, striking errors, and extraordinary preservation. These rare examples are the reason people talk about unbelievable prices. In the coin world, value is born where imperfection meets scarcity, and 1973 is a year where the unexpected occasionally appeared. The Philadelphia mint mark P adds another layer of intrigue. Coins from this mint were produced in enormous numbers, which makes any deviation instantly valuable. When in 1973, P quarter appears with an off-center strike, double details, unusually sharp impressions, or a flawless surface untouched by circulation, it becomes something entirely different from loose change. It becomes a survivor, one that escaped damage, neglect, and time itself. Some collectors are especially drawn to coins that appear silver-like in color or weight, sparking rumors and excitement. While not all such coins are truly silver, appearances alone have caused intense bidding wars when unusual metal behavior or mint anomalies are confirmed. In rare cases, laboratory testing has elevated coins from curiosity to headline material, pushing values far beyond what anyone would expect from a quarter dated 1973. Condition is where fortunes are truly made. A 1973 Liberty Quarter preserved in near-perfect or perfect condition is like a time capsule. No scratches, no dullness, no loss of detail, only crisp lines and original brilliance. Coins like this are incredibly rare because quarters were meant to be spent, not protected. When one survives untouched, collectors compete fiercely, sometimes driving prices into ranges that shock outsiders. Then there are error coins, the heartbeat of extreme value. Misaligned dies, missing layers, doubled imagery, or unusual planchets can transform a common coin into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. These errors are accidental, unpredictable, and impossible to recreate, which is exactly why collectors pay extraordinary sums for them. One confirmed error can instantly place a 1973 Liberty Quarter into elite territory. Stories circulate in the coin world of people unknowingly spending rare quarters, unaware they held something special. That is why experienced collectors always warn. Never rush to sell, never clean a coin, and never assume its value without expert evaluation. Cleaning alone can destroy decades of potential worth. Patience, knowledge, and verification are what separate regret from reward. The idea that a single coin could change someone's fortune overnight isn't fantasy. It has happened before in numismatics. While not every 1973 Liberty Quarter is valuable, the rare few that meet all the right conditions have rewritten personal histories. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary can be smaller than a millimeter in a strike or a fraction of a gram in weight. True collectors understand that value is not just money, it's story, rarity, and trust. When a coin is authenticated, graded, and proven exceptional, its worth becomes real and respected. That is when collectors, investors, and museums all take notice. At that point, the coin no longer belongs to pocket change. It belongs to history. So if you ever come across a 1973 Liberty Quarter, don't dismiss it too quickly. Look closely, handle it carefully, and respect its potential. Most coins are ordinary, but legends are born from exceptions. And in the quiet world of rare coins, sometimes a small piece of metal really does have the power to change a life. Overnight. If you want, I can rewrite this to sound even more cinematic, shorten for YouTube, or add a strong opening hook and ending CTA for viral videos. The year 1965 stands like a thunderclap in American coin history, a moment when the United States quietly changed the soul of its money. To many people, a 1965 Liberty Quarter looks ordinary, something that could hide in a pocket or rest forgotten in a drawer. Yet behind that simple face is a powerful story of transition, secrecy, and rare possibility that continues to fuel dreams, rumors, and collector fascination even today. By 1965, America was moving away from silver coins forever. Rising silver prices forced the U.S. Mint to remove silver from circulating quarters, replacing it with a copper-nickel-clad composition. This single decision created a sharp dividing line in history. Quarters before 1965 carried real silver weight, while those after were meant to carry only face value. That is why 1965 is whispered about so intensely. It sits exactly on the edge of two worlds. Now comes the mystery that makes hearts race. Although standard 1965 quarters were not silver, a tiny number of extraordinary pieces may exist that break all the rules. During this chaotic transition year, experimental strikes, wrong metal planchets, and minting accidents were possible. A 1965 Liberty Quarter accidentally struck on a leftover silver planchet would instantly become one of the most legendary modern U.S. coins ever known. Such a coin would not be valuable because of magic or myths, but because it should never exist. Its power would come from contradiction. History saying no, while metal says yes. If authenticated, such a mistake would represent a once-in-a-generation error, the kind that museums fight over and elite collectors chase with blank checks. This is where value stops being counted in thousands and begin entering territory that changes lives. The mint mark itself adds another layer of intrigue. In 1965, mint marks were temporarily removed to discourage hoarding. That means no P or D appears on normal coins, making authentication even more dramatic. If a silver composition 1965 quarter surfaced, it would not scream its identity. It would whisper it, forcing experts to rely on weight, sound, edge color, and deep metallurgical testing to reveal the truth. But this is also where caution must speak louder than excitement. The vast majority of 1965 Liberty Quarters are worth face value only. Millions exist, and no amount of hope can turn a common-clad coin into a treasure. The true danger is not spending a rare coin too cheaply. It is believing every dramatic story without proof and falling into fantasy instead of knowledge. What truly gives a coin the power to change fortune overnight is not the year alone, but verified rarity. A genuine silver-era 1965 quarter, certified by top grading authorities, would be a historical anomaly. Its value would be determined not by rumors or social media claims, but by auction rooms filled with silence, raised paddles, and numbers that climb higher with every breath. Collectors who understand this know one rule above all others: never rush, never assume, and never sell without certainty. Weighing the coin, testing its metal content, and seeking professional authentication are the difference between truth and illusion. A real discovery would rewrite modern numismatic records. A false one would simply return to a cash register. The fascination with the 1965 Liberty Quarter continues because it represents hope wrapped in history. It reminds people that sometimes mistakes do happen, that rules are occasionally broken, and that ordinary objects can carry extraordinary stories. But those stories demand respect, patience, and knowledge, not blind belief. In the end, the real fortune hidden in the 1965 Liberty Quarter is understanding. Understanding how money evolved, how rarity is born, and how legends begin. If a true silver era ever appears, it will not need exaggeration or loud promises. Its authenticity alone will speak so loudly that the entire numismatic world will stop and listen. The 1976 Liberty Quarter dollar, especially the one whispered about with AP mint mark, lives more in legend than in loose change. And that is exactly what makes its story so powerful. This coin was born in a year charged with emotion, pride, and celebration, when America marked 200 years of independence. Every quarter struck that year carried the weight of history, but collectors and dreamers believe that a very small number escaped the ordinary path and entered the realm of mystery. These coins are not just metal. They are time capsules, holding the echo of a nation celebrating its survival and strength, and that alone makes people look at them with different eyes and beating hearts. What fuels the imagination is the idea that among millions of bicentennial quarters, a few were struck under unusual conditions, with extraordinary perfection, experimental metal blends, or silent minting irregularities that were never meant for public hands. The story goes that some 1976 quarters, especially those associated in rumor with the Philadelphia Mint, possess qualities so rare that their true value cannot be measured by face value or even thousands of dollars. Instead, they are spoken of in terms usually reserved for legendary art, lost treasures, or heirlooms that rewrite family histories overnight. The shine of this coin is often described as different, deeper, almost alive, as if the silver within it remembers the moment it was born. While most people know the bicentennial quarter for its colonial drummer design, believers in this legend say the truly valuable piece carries a presence you can feel before you even understand why. The edges, the strike, the balance of the coin in your palm all seem to whisper that it is not ordinary. This is a kind of detail that turns a casual finder into a lifelong guardian of a single small object. The phrase unimaginable worth is not used lightly in stories about this coin. In collector folklore, value is not just about metal or condition, but about rarity combined with secrecy. A coin known to everyone can be priced, cataloged, and sold. A coin surrounded by silence, uncertainty, and unanswered questions grows in power. That is why people say if you ever come across such a 1976 Liberty Quarter, you should never rush to sell it, never trust the first offer, and never underestimate what time and patience can do. There is also the idea that true fortune-changing coins never announce themselves loudly. They hide in drawers, old jars, inherited boxes, and forgotten collections, waiting for the right moment and the right eyes. Many legends claim that those who dismissed unusual quarters too quickly later realized they had let go of something that could have transformed their lives. This is why the 1976 Liberty Quarter is often described as a silent king among modern coins, small in size but enormous in potential. What makes this story even more gripping is the belief that the market has not yet fully awakened to every secret of this coin. In this telling, value is not fixed, it is sleeping. One major discovery, one revelation, one respected voice acknowledging a unique specimen could ignite demand overnight. When that happens, the difference between spending a coin and holding it could mean the difference between an ordinary life and a life rewritten by sudden wealth. Collectors who believe in the extraordinary power of this coin often speak about destiny. They say not everyone is meant to find such a piece, and not everyone who finds it is meant to understand it immediately. Sometimes the coin comes into your life as a test of patience, self-belief, and courage to hold on when others laugh or doubt. That emotional layer is what turns metal into myth and currency into legacy. The idea of becoming wealthy overnight is part of the magic, but the deeper message of the 1976 Liberty Quarter legend is about awareness. It teaches that value is not always obvious, that history hides in plain sight, and that what the world ignores today may be celebrated tomorrow. This belief keeps people searching their pockets, examining their change, and looking twice at what they once took for granted. In the end, The most powerful thing about this coin is not whether it truly reaches millions in today's market, but the way it captures imagination and hope. It represents a dream that something small can carry something enormous, that fortune does not always arrive with noise, and that sometimes destiny fits quietly in the palm of your hand. To those who believe, the 1976 Liberty Quarter is not just money, it is possibility waiting to be respected. So if you ever come across a 1976 Liberty Quarter that feels different, looks different, and refuses to be forgotten, the legend says one thing clearly: do not rush, do not underestimate, and do not trade destiny for quick cash. Some coins are meant to be spent, but others are meant to be held, studied, protected, and passed on until the day the world finally realizes what you were holding all along. The 1967 Liberty Quarter from the United States is often whispered about in collector circles as a coin born in silence, struck during a strange moment in American history when change was everywhere, but certainty was nowhere. There is no mint mark on this coin, and that absence alone has fueled decades of speculation, mystery, and fascination. Some believe the missing mark is not an accident, but a deliberate decision, turning the coin into a quiet rebel of its time, a piece that refused to announce where it came from, as if it wanted to choose its own destiny. What makes the 1967 Liberty Quarter so captivating is not just its design, but the era it represents. This coin emerged when America was reshaping itself, when metals, money, and meaning were all being reconsidered. In stories passed from one collector to another, this quarter is described as a survivor transition, carrying the weight of a nation moving away from old traditions and into a new financial age. That sense of transition gives the coin an almost emotional gravity, as if it absorbed the uncertainty of its birth year. In legendary narratives, some versions of the 1967 Liberty Quarter are said to have been struck with extraordinary precision, their surfaces unusually sharp, their details unusually alive. Liberty's expression appears stronger, Washington's profile more commanding, the eagle more defiant. These coins are described as anomalies, pieces that feel different the moment they touch your palm, heavier in presence if not in weight, as though they were meant to stand apart from the millions that look just like them. Collectors who speak in hushed tones claim that a perfect 1967 Liberty Quarter is not merely owned, but discovered. It does not reveal its importance easily. It hides in drawers, jars, old envelopes, waiting for the moment when someone looks closely enough. In these stories, the coin rewards patience, knowledge, and respect. Those who rush to sell, who see only face value, are said to lose the opportunity forever, while those who wait are believed to unlock a different future. The myth grows stronger when people talk about condition. In this narrative world, a flawless 1967 Liberty Quarter exists almost outside normal economics. It is imagined as a coin untouched by time, never cleaned, never damaged, never disrespected. Such a piece, according to legend, does not follow ordinary price charts. Its worth is spoken of in exaggerated, almost unbelievable terms, not because of metal alone, but because perfection itself is rare and rarity feeds desire. There is also a belief that certain 1967 quarters carry subtle variations, details so small that only the most devoted eyes can see them. A slightly shifted design, an unusually strong strike, a surface that reflects light differently. These details are said to separate ordinary coins from extraordinary ones. In storytelling culture, these tiny differences are what transform a common object into something powerful enough to change a life overnight. Many dramatic coin stories describe the 1967 Liberty Quarter as a test of knowledge, of patience, of belief. Those who dismiss it too quickly are said to miss their moment, while those who study, protect, and preserve it are portrayed as guardians of hidden value. The coin becomes a symbol not just of money, but of timing, reminding people that fortune often comes quietly, disguised as something ordinary. In these narratives, the idea of becoming wealthy overnight is not about greed, but about readiness. The 1967 Liberty Quarter does not make someone rich simply by existing. It rewards a person who understands its story, respects its condition, and waits for the right moment. The coin is portrayed as having power only when matched with wisdom, turning it into a metaphor as much as a collectible. The most gripping legends say that somewhere right now, a perfect 1967 Liberty Quarter rests unnoticed, its future still unwritten. It could be in a family collection, a forgotten box, or a pocket passed down through generations. Its journey is unfinished, and its value, in this mythic sense, is not measured in numbers, but in the transformation it promises to the one who recognizes it. In the end, the story of the 1967 Liberty Quarter is not just about money, metal, or markets. It is about perspective. It teaches that even the smallest object can carry enormous meaning, that history can hide in plain sight, and that sometimes what looks ordinary today may hold the power to redefine tomorrow. That belief is what keeps the legend alive, growing stronger every time the coin changes hands.